All right, Coach, EIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the New York Jets and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Bortles now on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And no, incomplete. Boy, they took a shot there on the first play, tried to start it out with a bang, but it's second down. These Jags and Jets, they met in one of the stranger games a season ago, week 4, I believe it was, and got all the way down to 28 seconds remaining in OT before Chandler Catanzaro ended it for the Jets with a 41-yard field goal to win 23-20.
One of the highlights of the season for the Jets, but how about the Jaguars finishing their year for the AFC Championship game?
And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Henry Anderson, big man from Stanford, there for the stop.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Throwing his Bortles on third down. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it fourth down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10. First carry for the former Cleveland Brown, Isaiah Crowell, fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Darnold. And a hit turned in over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though, and it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that third down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. Threw a little dump off to his back, and nice effort picking up the first down, though, and you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
To throw on second down is Darnold. Leaping, and he makes the grab. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
3rd and 2. Darnold, he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slide.
Town of Orlando, Florida, an absolute mess. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Green 80.
From the gun, it's Bortles. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 11 carries, 51 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they were going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
To throw is Bortles. This will be caught at about the 5. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Green 80.
They'll try to punch it in with Fournette. And he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. He tried to break that plane but couldn't get there, and that's going to leave him now at 3rd and goal. This Jet defense so far standing tall. They need another stop now, 3rd and goal.
Green 80.
Here's Fournette. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal.
Now, this feels like old-school football because this has turned into a good old-fashioned goal line stand. So on offense, what do you do now? Do you decide to run it or throw it if you go for it on 4th down?
And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
And they've got it here with a 1st down. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Here's Darnold now on second down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Jermaine Kearse, and it's 3rd and 5.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Darnold. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's Bortles to throw. Shark's got it left side. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end. How about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Fournette, a first down carry. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Looking back to Leonard Fournette's rookie campaign, over 1,000 yards rushing. And coming into the league, some people saw this kid as an ex-Adrian Peterson. What can we expect from him going forward?
I like the comparison because of the size, the strength, the speed. But I think he catches the ball better than Adrian Peterson. So I think they can up his utilization in the passing game. But what really impressed me was down the stretch in the divisional playoff game against Pittsburgh, hurt his ankle, left the game for a while, and came back and helped power his team to a big victory. Remember, he had some dings at LSU that kept him out of a few games. I thought that was a breakthrough for Leonard Fournette.
Green 80. Green 80.
Here's a carry for a former starter. This is T.J. Yeldon. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on 3rd down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on 3rd downs all year long.
Set. Green 80.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Completes it to Moncrief left side. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Bortles throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
We got three, fellas. Green 80. Green 80.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal.
Green 80. Green 80.
Shotgun now for Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball out of the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
New York set to take the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
And this will be broken up and incomplete. Now a penalty flag down, and they may be going backward here.
Offense.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Darnold. A screen complete to Crowell. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down. Two minutes remain here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. We'll remind you once again, coming up at halftime, we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He's got stats and scores from around the NFL as we wrap up the first month of the season.
No longer is he...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And now running right through it. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. He couldn't hook up with a Nunwa that time. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Now Bortles. And he'll get that to Fournette complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That last catch good for 8 yards. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. The Jaguars on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Bortles now to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Jaguar linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
Again, they'll throw with Bortles. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage. Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And this Fournette territory here, and he's alone in the backfield on 2nd and goal.
Green 80.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. No one ran the ball more than the Jaguars in 2017, and we could very well see another carry here on 3rd and short. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Partner, it's decision time now. I know it's still just the 2nd quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
And Lambeau will put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this 1st half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the 2nd quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find...
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. Anunwa, the intended target. So that is 3 interceptions now in this 1st half, and you hate to ask the question, but here, let's be honest. We're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But
in a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now it's Crowell, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. The Jets on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now a run. This is Bilal Powell. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. taken in at the 22. So we hit the halftime break here. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Andre Roberts now to return it. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
On second down, here's Crowell. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Darnold. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
This one complete to Niles Paul. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here's second and 10 now from the 29.
Green 80.
Again here on second and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Green 80.
On third down, Fournette. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Now the Jet offense about to take over as they head out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll try to run for it with Crowell. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Detroit! Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Darnold on 1st down. And he hits Jermaine Kearse. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 33. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Set! 380!
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. A fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. Now he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Bortles on the give to Fournette. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And an alley to run. Oh, and now he bowls him over. A big one there for the Jags. 18 yards, first down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Fournette proven to be even more dangerous this year than as a rookie as the Jags come up 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
Into the red zone. It's Bortles. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
But when you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play.
Set. Green 80. Green is set.
He's going to get it running right. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Green 80.
Bortles now on 3rd and goal. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. In for the score. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
New York set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win.
Now a handoff to Crowell. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep.
They keep it with Crowell on 1st. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Telvin Smith that time there to make the play.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, Darnold escaping the pressure right. Herndon's got it complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's got Curse. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.